Alright, welcome back YouTube. So, I know a lot of you are out there shopping for Black Friday, Record Store Day, but for me, I didn't really find any interest in the stuff that was on the list, so I didn't actually go out to buy anything. So instead, I decided to do a vinyl update. This is going to be a punk vinyl update, because I haven't done one of these in a long time. I'm going to start out actually with something that I bought for Record Store Day this year. Not today, but it was for April Record Store Day. Something I wanted in my collection for quite a while, and they reissued it on Record Store Day. This is Joy Division, An Ideal for Living EP. Really cool EP. The only thing that was disappointing about it was the packaging. I was expecting a lot more from the packaging on this, but unfortunately, there really wasn't a lot in there. It's basically no inserts. They changed up the artwork, which I guess is a little bit understandable because from what I understand, people thought the other one was offensive. So yeah, I guess that's probably the reason why they got rid of the other artwork. Another thing is that something that is pretty cool is that the logo, the Joy Division logo here, is textured, and so it has a very nice texture to it. This is the record right here. It spins at 45 RPM. I should mention, by the way, that I've never understood why people call 7 inches 45s, because technically this is a 45. That's the speed it spins at. Just thought I'd throw that in there. I've never really understood that. But anyways, yeah, it's got cool songs on here. Warsaw is probably my favorite. It also has No Love Lost, Leaders of Men, and Failures as well. Really different from the other Joy Division stuff. Very punky sounding, but definitely a pretty cool one to have in the collection. I think I'll still be looking out for, a bootleg or something of one that does have the original artwork, because I'm a big fan of the original artwork. So yeah, Joy Division, An Ideal for a Living. To get that one, I'm not sure how much it is, because I don't really know. With Record Store Day stuff, people flipping it, and I don't really know what's up with that. I don't understand why people go for the flippers on eBay, because you just have to wait a few months and prices calm down. So anyways, moving on to something else here. I bought this earlier this year for a really cheap price, and yeah, this is Allroy for Prez. I think it's an EP, but yeah, it's one of the few releases with the singer called Dave Smalley. He also performed on the All debut album as well. But it's a pretty cool EP. Really cool artwork on the front there. All is a band that a lot of people overlook, even though they are a fan of the Descendants, which I really don't understand that at all. I think All is a fantastic, fantastic band, and if you love the Descendants, I don't understand why you wouldn't love All. They're also a pretty cool band. This is an original press on Cruise Records, which is a sub-label, or I don't know if they still exist, but at the very least they were a sub-label of SST Records. And this one also spins at 45 RPM. Now my copy is pretty cool because it also came with something a little bit extra, which I don't normally see in every single record of this. I think it's like a small promo thingy that came with it. I think only promo copies came with it. I don't really know, but it's has a lot of pages in there. Basically, just reviews of the album and fan pictures as well. And another page right here. And another page right there. So pretty cool to have the little promo packet right here. I don't know what's up with this packet. It just came with the record. I don't know if all of them came with it or just promo copies. I don't really know, but really cool packet to have. I haven't read through it yet, so it's kind of on my to-do list. It also comes with an insert. This one I know should come with every copy. Yeah, it has lyrics on the back. Nice and glossy. But yeah, it's a really cool release. Not exactly All's finest moment by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, it's All's formative years and definitely one that I thought was essential in the collection. Probably my favorite songs on here are Skin Deep and Wrong Again, which are really cool, catchy pop punk songs. So yeah, to get this one, it's not too expensive actually. I think I only paid $10 for it, so not too bad. And I would imagine you'd probably pay around the same price. Okay, moving on to another album, or rather, this is a compilation. This is a compilation which, you know, it's one of those things where you keep telling yourself, "Oh, I'll get it later." Especially, you know, with me being not so much a fan of compilation albums, I just was one of those things I was putting off a lot. But I found it in the record store, so I thought, you know, I'm gonna get it. This is Misfits, Legacy of Brutality compilation, widely regarded as one of the more classic, recognizable punk compilations. And I really love the cover art on this. And at the time of its release, it was actually one of the very few ways you could hear these songs that are listed here, because at that time, Static Age, which a lot of these songs come from, was unreleased. And it also has a few, or Who Killed Marilyn, that's also a song that's exclusively, officially released on this compilation. And it also has an alternative version of Halloween, as well as American Nightmare, which is one of my favorite Misfits songs. And I think it's only available on this compilation officially. If not, I think it might be also on the box set. But yeah, it's a really cool collection of songs. The production on it is a little odd because Glenn Danzig actually overdubbed a lot of these songs. So it does have a kind of a weird sound to it, but I like it. It definitely sounds, I think, a little bit more spookier than the Static Age version, which I'm also a fan of, the Static Age version, but I think this one does have a little bit more of a creepier edge to it, definitely. Not too expensive to get either. I think even the original press doesn't go for a hell of a lot of money, but to get this repress that I'm holding here, it's probably around $15, $16. But yeah, Misfits, Legacy of Brutality. Definitely one to get a hold of, especially if you're a hardcore Misfits fan like me. Moving on to another one. This is a repress I was actually really happy to get into the collection. It's by the same group. This is their debut album, entitled Walk Among Us. Now, this isn't the first album that they recorded. The first album they recorded was actually Static Age, but that just remained unreleased for a lot of years. And the first proper album that they actually released was this one, Walk Among Us, in 1982, I think it was. Originally with the pink cover and the pink logo. Here's the back. It's got a picture of the band, track listings, a Bible quote. So yeah. Inside it comes with an insert, a nice photo collage of the band. Lyrics on the back. And also, I actually bought this print from in San Diego Comic Con from a guy who did Danzig artwork for his solo work. I forgot what album it was, but I actually bought this from him. This is a picture of the Misfits, and funny enough, there was actually an original press that actually came with this very picture. So I decided to keep it as an insert for the LP because I thought it was pretty cool. Nice and glossy and in a very nice reproduction. It wasn't actually that expensive either. But yeah, this one is actually a pretty cool repress because it comes on really cool colored vinyl here. It's pink. I think this is the only pink record I own. Pink marbled vinyl with some swirls in there. I decided to pick it up really because first of all, I wanted an original press, but The original press of this goes for a hell of a lot of money now. And so I wasn't really willing to go that far for an original press. And anyways, it seems like Misfits colored vinyl in the future just seems to skyrocket. It's really crazy. So I just decided, you know what, it's one of those things where it's now or never. And it was a bidding auction, which nobody really looked at. I only paid $15 for this, so I was like, whatever, fuck it. It's a really nice collection of songs as well. I think this is really where the Misfits started to really display their the music of hardcore punk. You know, I think before they were more horror punk, but in this one, and as well as Earth AD, their last album, as in the Glenzig era, they're more hardcore punk. I think here with songs like 20 Eyes, All Hell Breaks Loose, Hate Breathers, Violent World, and yeah, so on and so forth. It's a really great album, one of Misfits' finest moments. I am a fan, by the way, of the Jerry Only era and the Graves era, but I think obviously the Glenn Danzig era will always be my favorite. Moving on to the last album I'm going to show you, and a really rare punk album to have, as well as one of the rarest, or not one of the rarest, I'm sorry, one of the more obscure punk albums that I have in my collection. Like, it just seems like nobody really knows about these guys. They're also a New Jersey punk band, and nobody really knows about them, but they're one of the best punk bands I've ever heard, honestly. This is like the only album they've ever released, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. This is Mischief, Only Losers Left Alive, which is their only album that they ever released, and a very, very obscure punk album, as I mentioned before. If any of you have ever heard of these guys, like seriously, I'd be really, really surprised, because it just seems like nobody really knows about them. But they're fantastic, absolutely fantastic punk rock. It kind of reminds me of like really early G.G. Allin, like the first album by G.G. Allin. Also, like if you've ever heard of like late 70s punk, like the Cigarettes, that's kind of what these guys sound like. They sound like late 70s punk, but this album was actually released in 1985. Here's a picture of the band in the back, individual pictures of the band, as well as track listings and some information as well. It was released on a obscure punk label called Mother Records from New Jersey. Now, these guys didn't only release New Jersey punk bands, they also did release other punk bands from across the world. But yeah, really cool labels there, Mother Records, so you can see there. Some Mother Records, some of the bands that were released on that record label, they go for a hell of a lot of money. I'm thankful to say that this isn't one of them, because it would have been really hard to acquire. I paid $40 for this, which I thought was not a bad deal considering, you know, the condition of this, as well as how obscure it is. It's really, really obscure, really hard to find. Copies on sale don't come up very often, so if you see this and you're really, really interested in punk rock, I strongly, strongly suggest getting this album. Another thing to mention about it is that probably my favorite songs on here, Adolescent Generation, Stop Talking at Me, Nothing, and Girl I Need. Really, really cool. But yeah, if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about these guys, you know, you can always ask me in the comment section. But yeah, that's all I have to show this time around. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys all later. I hope you guys all found what you were looking for Record Store Day, Black Friday. And yeah, I'll catch you guys all later. Goodbye.